So have you ever wanted to impress your DPE before even saying a word? This is how to do it. Coming up. Hey aviators, welcome back to my channel. I'm Ty Jones, your Aeronerd, bringing you honest experiences, reviews, and training tips that will help you aviate, navigate, and communicate. And today what I want to show you is what I do for all my check rides and what I encourage everyone else and all my students who was about to get ready to do their check ride, and guaranteed 100% of the time after they pass their check ride, the examiners come to me and they really congratulate and they really give me a lot of kudos by saying, wow, your student was really prepared. Honestly, the check ride was actually, the oral portion was actually shorter because of how well that they're prepared using this technique that I'm about to show you right now. But before I get started, I have to let everybody know I do have a new website out, www.aeronerdaviation.com. You can go on there if you're in the Florida area. You can go on there, you can book flights, you can go on there. I have an online ground school. You can go there and check it out. I also have an Instagram, also Aeronerd Aviation. You can check me out, you can follow me. There's lots of information on there. It is continuously growing each and every day. The reason it exists now is because I had so many requests that I make a website for aviators just like you. So go ahead and check it out, www.aeronerdaviation.com. I have a Facebook also, Aeronerd Aviation. I have an Instagram, Aeronerd Aviation. So go ahead and check me out, follow me, and let me get your feedback. All right, let's get started. So right now, what I have here is I call this the Checkride binder. This can be any kind of binder. I just have a 1-inch binder. I got it from Home Depot, or not Home Depot, Office Depot or Office Max, wherever you want to go. Or you can just find one lying around your house or something like that. Okay, so first starting off in the very front of the cover, you're gonna have your applicant name, whatever your name is, and then right down here, have your FTN number down here. This is what the examiner is gonna be using to open up your file on IACRA. Now when you open it up, he's gonna be wanting your 8710. Oh, look at that, it's all already conveniently right here. Obviously this is a blank one, but you get the point. You're gonna have all of this already conveniently ready for him. Now the next page, moving on over, you're gonna have your actual copy of your written. Don't have a, and again, this is another sample, but make sure you have the actual copy with the embossed raised edge right here. You don't want a copy, because I actually made that mistake one time at one of my check rides and I had to go all the way back home and get it. So make sure you don't make the same mistake I did and have your actual FAA written exam there. Next, you probably want all of your IDs. So here's all my IDs. Obviously I blocked out some information there, but this is where you can have all of your copies of your IDs. If you have a passport, you can have that. Your medical, you can put that on there as well. Just the more information, the better, the more professional it's going to look. Right here next is what I have is the airworthiness certificate and the registration for the aircraft or whatever aircraft you're using. Every check ride, the examiner is going to be giving you some kind of scenario. You know, I weigh this much, you weigh that much, and I want to take my grandmother to Key West, and we have this much fuel, and you know, how do you get me there? What would you do? That's pretty much the scenario. So in that scenario, you want to get all the weather information. So right here, as I have the winds aloft, right there, you're going to need your winds aloft in order to do your flight plan. Speaking of flight plan, you also need to get all of your NOTAMs, have all of that conveniently right there. Next, what I have here is the actual flight plan. Now this is the IFR flight plan. This is what I have, and I highly encourage that you have this printed out. You can go on Google and you can actually print out this on PDF and you can manually put those in here. It just looks a lot more professional instead of getting it handwritten in there, because not all of us are, you know, have the best penmanship. So I recommend that you have this printed out and it looks very professional, just like this. Next, and of course if it's a continuation, then of course you can, you know, go on to the next one. Next right here is the weight and balance. There's a lot of different styles and forms of weight and balance sheets, so make sure you have one of your weight and balance. Now you can't really do your weight and balance until after you finish your flight plan, because you don't know how much fuel you're going to need until you finish all of your flight plan and calculate all of the alternates and all that good stuff. And once you do have that information, now you know how much fuel that you're going to need So sometimes, hey, I don't need to have a 318 pounds in a Cessna 172. I can actually take less fuel. So hey, maybe you can take that extra luggage that the examiner wanted you to add on the trip. Next, what I do is I will print out the route on SkyVector, and I will screenshot it, and I'll also put it on here. This will also allow the examiner to, hey, maybe he wants to ask you questions on a sectional chart. Well, if you have a sectional chart right here, it's not actually a sectional chart, but if you have, he may ask you questions right here, which will prevent you from actually having to whip out a whole huge sectional chart. Will that work? Maybe, maybe not, but just be prepared. If he does want to see you, use a sectional chart, then hey, you're gonna have one. But you have one right here, and actually one of my check rides, I was actually able to use this on one of my IFR check rides. I didn't even have to use my sectional. I just use this or the low IFR chart. Next, right here, you're gonna want to get your chart supplement info for the airport or airports that you're going to be going to. I recommend you have one of these for every single airport that you have planned, whether if it's a alternate or if you're flying over airport, just in case if you have to make any kind of emergency landings or whatnot when your passengers get sick. Hey, you have all the information right there. And then that's the other one right there. Also have the airport diagram. Now with the airport diagram, another thing that I recommend is these hotspots. Let's say you got a hotspot on there, but the airport diagram doesn't really give you information on what the hotspot is. It just says hotspot 1 and it has a circle right there. But where is the detailed information? Where you can find that in the chart supplement? What I recommend you do is you highlight it. You write chart supplement right on the airport diagram, and you write the page number of that hotspot, of that corresponding hotspot. So what the examiner is going to say is, he may not even ask you what's this hotspot mean. If he sees, if he or she sees, if he or she sees that you already have the page number, you obviously already looked it up, you already know about it. Okay, cool, let's move on. This is how most of the check rides, the oral check rides that I have experienced for all my students, when they had this, their check rides was so much quicker.